Zoop. Ring!
That's most of what that kind of sums up.
The end.
The end.
So we just got out of Woman in Black to Angel of Death, a World War II movie that's called Angel of Death, and Joseph Mengele is nowhere in this movie.
Very disappointed.
Nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I didn't even really know that this was a war movie until you picked me up.
Yeah.
It's sheer coincidence that you're here and it happens to be a war film.
You know, shit, dude, yeah. I didn't even think about it, but yes.
In fact, it probably wasn't a war film until I called and asked if you wanted to see this.
It actually took place during the French Revolution.
I saw trailers for it, but it tells you how the trailers really stuck with me. I couldn't even remember that.
Yeah, but the trailers didn't really. I didn't even know what it was. I had to look it up. Well, I was trying to do the teensiest bit of research before.
Oh.
Well, because I saw the first one, but it's been a very long time.
Yeah.
I saw it like right after it came out, and then I couldn't really remember a lot about it, so I needed to go back and like reread a synopsis of it and remember why was Harry Potter there in the first place and what was he supposed to be doing. And so
I'm with you on that. I remember me and Jillian reviewing that movie, and honestly, I remember giving it kind of a passable review. I remember saying like it's
spooky
okay.
moments. I mean, it wasn't like horrible, but it wasn't.
No,
it was just
no. In terms of the recent Hammer movies that were out, it was a lot better than the quiet ones. But it's been a few years since I saw it. I only saw it when it was out in theaters, and it didn't really leave a lasting impression then, and it certainly doesn't leave a lasting impression now.
No.
So some stuff was kind of hitting me as we were watching this. I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of remember the road with all the water around it, the mud road and stuff like that. But yeah.
Well, I remember it had something to do with kids dying. And how they died. Yeah. It wasn't until like it started happening in this movie. It was like, oh right, yeah, they see her and then she forces them to kill themselves, basically. So I was like, oh yeah, right, and not in a like, oh yeah, that was the whole point of it, and like, oh god, yeah, that's right, yeah, that was the whole.
Just stay home and watch The Babadook. Seriously, like for a movie that has, not that they're really that much alike, but I guess like there are kids in danger in both of them, and there's like possession and stuff. I don't know, like just in horror movies in general, just stay home and watch The Babadook. Like if you only go see horror movies that are released in theaters, you'll think that there's just nothing but shitty fucking horror movies.
It's kind of what I was saying to you when I picked you up and we were on our way in. Is like I was saying, God, I can't think of a good horror movie that I've seen in the past few years, and that's why
I'm sure I could if I sat down and thought about it.
You think about better things, but I mean, I'm even thinking about just stuff that comes out of theater. Everything just doesn't. It looks like exactly what this movie was, which was the tiniest bit of slightly creepy moments. Like they would try to get towards creepy.
Yeah.
But then suddenly a jump scare that was completely unrelated to anything else would just blast in.
Yeah.
And it happened so many times.
So many times.
Just so many times.
5 fucking minutes. This movie never. The movie is not shot poorly.
It's beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful movie. The production design's great. It's the English countryside. It's a period piece in the 1940s. So it's got some lovely elements to it like that.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, and what pissed me off was. Like, they would do the jump scares in moments that required not even like tense moments.
Oh, like the bird flying against the window?
She goes up to a window and it's daylight, it's not spooky, then bang, boom, bird jumps out of nowhere and she's...
It's like, oh, this could be kind of a creepy shot with the little tombstone in the middle of nothing. Bird. Why?
And like birds aren't a theme or anything.
No, it's just a bird.
It's a bird. There's a bird.
Whether it's like a kid running around the corner, booga booga, or the kid wearing a gas mask and scaring the other kid, just fucking stop. Stop. If you look at the film, it's not like you can't tell by looking at it that it's a Hammer production, because like it's a very gothic looking movie. There's a lot of darkness, a lot of shadows and fog, a lot of that stuff going on in the movie. I can say that about the quiet ones and the first Woman in Black, which, like I said, I kind of remember that being okay. But but in terms of the quiet ones in this movie, I mean, when you think about it, it's not like you can't tell that there's elements of Hammer films in here, but they're not very good ones.
Yeah.
They're not very good movies. Like, just give me Dracula 1972 AD.
Well, see, it just doesn't seem like, I mean, there's no suspense.
Could be.
And the horror element is just startling.
That's it.
Like, there's not a horror movie, it's a startle movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, God, yeah.
You know, it's like, there's, like, because when you finally do see the woman in black or the spooky kids or whatever, you know, any buildup is already gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, they just show up and there they are. It's like, oh, look, there's the woman in black. It's not like some spooky element of, you know, a organic, natural type of, you know, you shut the door and there she is type of thing. You know, I mean, or anything like it never happens.
Yeah.
It never freaking happens. You know, you'll get a jump scare unrelated somewhere else, and then they some of the times they revealed her were moments that could have been scary, but it's like, and by the way, there's the woman in black.
Yeah, she's just kind of there, and there's a screaming sound.
Right, yeah. Right, yeah.
Just the sound of somebody screaming. She's already creepy enough to begin with, creepy looking enough to begin with. Right. You don't need her just screaming at the camera for no other reason than because this is a movie and there is an audience watching it.
Right.
This is the kind of movie where the only entertainment you are ever going to get from this isn't because of the movie. It's because you would go see it on opening weekend and there'd be a bunch of stupid teenagers in the audience. Because every 5 minutes there is a jump scare, and every time that would happen, there'd be a 12-year-old in the audience who would shit their pants because it would happen. That's it. That's not
because it's good horror, because startling.
Well, they'll probably think it's the scariest movie ever made, but
it's startling.
Because it startles them.
If I had a starting pistol,
and
just went up to random people like in the library and fired it behind their head, they would be frightened.
Oh yeah, believe me, I was there. I was there for the preview screening of Ouija. So oh god, yeah, that was the entire audience except for me and Jake, this grumpy 30-year-old sitting in the audience. And that's just make a good fucking movie, for the love of fucking God.
It's funny because I know I have selective memory, but the things that stuck out from the first one were the moments that were meant to be those little bit spookier, suspenseful moments. Like I was saying it before, like there was a moment of like a long shot, and at the end of the hallway, you see one of the shadows just suddenly move.
Yeah,
like that's spooky, that's creepy stuff, and that's like, oh, I like that. I can't remember, but I think the first one had a bunch of stupid jump scares.
Oh, it did. It had a lot.
So it's like I block those out because those aren't thematically like, you know, storytelling. Jump scares, in my opinion, only work if you use them sparsely and very strategically.
If they earn the jump scare that's coming
towards you. If they really earn the jump scare,
then it happens. Not just every. Oh, God. It's like doing a comedy and having someone fart every 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
and it's to the point that, you know, the first time it happens, it's funny fart joke, and then after a while, it's like, and they're still doing it.
My God, stop that!
Oh yeah, And like they telegraphed certain points where it was going to be jump scares.
The ending especially.
Oh God, the ending.
All right, when is this going to happen? There it is, end credits of a montage of children drowning.
Children.
That was funny. That was kind of funny, but
exactly.
It's completely superfluous that this movie takes place during World War II.
Oh my God,
for several reasons. This movie could have taken place anytime. This movie could have been, because of this movie really fails in the character department. One of which I'm going to get to in a second, because I don't know if you I don't think you were probably thinking this, because I think you probably would have said something, but before I get into this, this movie easily could have been about like a boarding school, and there's a ghost in there.
It's a vanilla ghost movie.
Yeah, and there are bullies with these kids. Yeah. These kids who have escaped London. Is it where was it at the beginning of it?
England, London. It's London.
They're escaping.
It started out the same way that Narnia, and frankly, should have ended the same way that Narnia. Well, or maybe Narnia should have ended like I don't know. Drowning children. No Jesus lion. There's no Jesus lion.
they're talking about really kind of horrible things at the beginning of this that have happened, but they're doing it in the most passive, like, calm way possible.
Right,
like, the girl shows up and says, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, my house just got bombed. And she says it just like that. Sorry, my house just got bombed. Which could easily be written into, oh, sorry, I was running late, I got a flat tire.
My bus was late, yeah.
Yeah, or the kid showing up, he's like, now he's a little quiet because his house was bombed last night and he's now an orphan.
Right.
It is delivered just like that.
And like the character, she goes and like looks at him and goes, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah, Ice Queen housemaid or whatever.
Your parents were just murdered in a bombing, and they're pissed off at him because he's silent. Like, they're like, you need to start talking. His parents were just murdered in a bombing.
That's what I mean. It's like, this seems like a script that was originally about, for all I know, this was a script to a remake of Girl School Screamers. Like, this script seems like it was originally about, like, maybe a private school or something like that. Or they're going away for the summer because that woman is a total bitch Ice Queen for no reason. Which you would expect in a movie if it were taking place at, like, an all-girls dormitory or something like that. And even, like, you know, the main girl flirting with the pilot, you always see that in those kind of movies. And the fact that this group of kids who have escaped this horrible situation and are now living in this spooky house together, there are bullies. Why are there bullies? Like, I'm not saying bullying didn't exist back then, because it's World War II. There was a lot of bullying on a national scale.
There was no bullying in World War II. Everybody got along fine.
This is now the second war movie I've seen that has weird, in a row, that I've seen with weird high school bullying in it. From the J-pop star, Japanese general in Unbroken. Like, put him in this movie. He could whip these kids into shape.
That's true. That little bamboo stick whacking the little kids.
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Put him in this goddamn fucking movie. And so you have these, and so because of this, I don't give a shit when any of these people die.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you've got all the children that are all nameless
and brats,
and all brats. And then there's one particular one that, like, they don't. You have no development on any of them except the one whose parents were murdered, who's the silent kid.
Yeah.
Other than him, you've got the one kid who is immediately a bully and is immediately so over the top mean to him that when he wanders off, you're like, finally, this is good.
I don't fucking care.
Kill that little fucker. Yeah, no, it's not like there's no stakes for characters and like, oh no, please, not that one. No, it's like, fucking kill that kid.
I don't give a shit. Like, this movie made me not care about children
dying. Yes,
not just the children dying, because I see that a lot. But like, this movie made me not give a shit about children dying who have previously escaped Nazis bombing them. Like, I don't give a fuck
when you put it like that. These children are watched their homes be destroyed.
Yeah.
And families and lives ruined, and they're little shits.
Wishing they perished.
They're little shits, and I'm like, good, kill the little fuckers.
Yeah.
Congratulations, movie. You've made us actually root for, like, you know, ghosts and the Nazis.
And I have a problem with the quiet kid, too.
I can't imagine why you have a problem.
One, he's really only the lead here because the movie wants him to be. If there was actual, like, maybe dialogue interaction between him and the main girl, I totally would have, again, something the Babadook did way better than this. I would have totally understood this kid's, at least from an entertainment purpose, for the purpose of getting invested in these characters, I at least would have gotten it if there was, I don't know, maybe some kind of one single conversation between him and the main girl, other than she wants him to talk again.
Right, that whole let's make him not talk thing, it maybe sounded like a great idea on paper, but you're right, there's no investment in the kid other than he's the creepy kid that doesn't talk. And
here's the thing, every time I kept showing him, I kept saying to myself, thinking to myself, why in God's name did they get a kid who looks a little bit like Hitler? Because me, he did, and that is all I was thinking about throughout this whole movie. Several times,
striking similar to a child Hitler.
Several times, I almost leaned over to you and said, why does he look like Hitler?
I was so uninvested in him that I never even thought about it.
Well, I didn't know if you were enjoying the movie, so I didn't want to ruin it for you.
Okay, that's right.
No, I knew you weren't having any of this movie.
I was riveted from the moment.
Also, there were people sitting behind us, so I didn't want to do. Oh my God, he looks like Hitler.
It's Hitler. Whee!
It's me sitting there with my shaved head.
I got my hair all combed to the side.
Yeah.
And for some reason I point using my whole hand, so I'd be like, he's right up there. You see him? He's right up there.
Anytime.
You seen Kyle? It's my friend. It's my friend Kyle.
Oh God.
God, yeah, we would not be welcome.
No. Thank God we saw it at not the usual theater. So, if the twist at the end was that he was Hitler, that would have been amazing. Because I've seen the Hitler and the Occult documentary. They could have ran with that.
True.
So, anytime you see boy Hitler in a movie, he's this kid. Not that he's literally the same actor, but he's a kid who looks like this, dresses like this.
And probably even acts like that. The very brooding, doesn't look around.
So, it was
holding a creepy doll.
It was very hard for me to get invested with this character when all I was thinking about was, don't save him, he's Hitler.
It's Hitler. Don't you realize what you've done?
Do you realize what you are doing? Stop this. The woman in black is the hero in this film.
It's actually it's a prequel to Captain America.
Or if they want, going off of that, if they want, okay, they're putting a bunch of assholes in a fucking house and having a ghost chase them around.
Right.
Okay, you know what? Then just make them all Nazis.
Right. You know what? Wouldn't that be cool? To have it be where, you really are rooting for the ghost?
Yeah.
And it's because they're all a bunch of fucking Nazis in the house? Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Fun. If you're gonna make them assholes, go for it, man.
Right, yeah.
Make them the fucking Third Reich. This movie really did nothing with its World War II setting. It didn't. I'm repeating myself right here, but a quick rewrite, and this is a fucking boarding school.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, I mean, they made it World War II, and all right. And so what I was thinking was because they tease a couple of times the whole idea of it's lights out, or blackout, whatever they call it. Because, the Germans still fly through the country. And, if they have any extra bombs from the city, they'll drop them in the country. So keep the lights out, keep all that out. And even at one point, you see German planes, and they go down into the cellar. Well, I was thinking, are they building up to something? Because it'd be pretty cool if, the finale, the climax was, we got to burn this place to the ground. And they set fire to it so that the German planes see it and bomb it.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Right? That'd be kind of what a cool finale, a way that, she, the hero, or the main character, feels like she's getting back at, I'm going to stop the ghost by bombing the shit out of her house.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously the ghost, still lives or whatever, but that'd be a pretty awesome,
I'd be like, okay, well, there was that. That was an interesting thing that happened. That would have been a payoff at least.
Right, it would have been a lot of payoff, and also I love blowing shit up. So that's how I think.
It did get it. The only interesting thing that it kind of got into in regards to the war was when they ended up at the decoy plane thing.
Right. There's the pilot guy
who could not have possibly looked any more like Cary Elwes unless he was Cary Elwes.
It might have been Cary Elwes, but
it was Cary Elwes in 1989.
That's right. They invented time travel.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So he's the pilot, and we get the tiny little nugget of character development that his plane crashed in the water, so he's afraid of water. And because of his mental state, they put him in this airfield that is all decoys.
Even before that was revealed, I was like, isn't anyone wondering why this pilot has so much free time on his hands?
Right. One, he seems to be the only military person
for miles.
Yes. And yeah, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
He's got it good.
It's wow, I got his job. Well, now apparently by losing his crew in the ocean, and he's the only survivor. So yeah, that was kind of cool. And there's a sequence because they have, and again, they're teasing the whole idea of the Germans can see the Germans are there. We're afraid of the German bombers. So they're at this decoy airfield that has these big fire pits.
Yeah,
that he can turn on to make it look like they hit and it's on fire, which they use a little bit for like, you know, one of the kids maybe getting killed sort of thing, which I didn't really follow the point of that other than like there was something to do.
Other than something had to lead them back to the house.
Right, something had to lead them back to the house. So... But if I don't know,
and then he sees the ghost of like one of the dead kids in one of the prop planes, a scene that could have been creepy if he just turned around and gave him like this sinister look. But of course, it is a giant fucking jump scare when it happens, and you're expecting that to happen, and you're rolling your eyes. I was like, that's not fucking suspenseful. No, you're just waiting for something stupid to happen,
and that's in the trailer too.
Is it?
Oh yeah, the kid turning around. It's in the trailer.
I remember the nurse thing.
The nurse thing's in the trailer. Well, but that's what a lot of these, you know, a lot of the more suspenseful moments, or even the jump scares.
Yeah.
There are a lot of jump scares, but the suspenseful ones are all in the trailer. So I knew exactly what was going to happen, and it was just waiting for it. It's like, okay, now they're going to do this, and then wait for it. Okay, there it is.
When it showed that nurse, and then that didn't happen, I was like, okay.
Oh, right, the first time.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess I did. I was like, all right, well, that's kind of clever, I guess. But now that it cuts back to it later, and for no reason, this thing looks at the screen and screams, because sure. And with the stuff with the decoy, I'm like, this could have been like its own movie, like about this guy who's been labeled a coward and has to run this like decoy plane field. Like
it's kind of a cool idea because you know you think about it, like he's fighting this war basically by himself.
Yeah,
it's him trying to pretend that he's an entire army.
Yeah,
or airfield or whatever against the German bombers. Yeah, there could be some interesting moments there.
Yeah,
of him, you know, losing his own mind and thinking that there are people there with him.
Yeah.
And that, you know, like, you know, he's trying to round up a crew and set up a defense, but really he's just been there in decoys the whole time because he's a loony. I mean, that's kind of cool.
I could get behind that.
That's at least a really bitchin' Twilight Zone episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Like, I mean, if they're not a full movie, that's a bitchin' like 1 hour Twilight episode.
It wouldn't go if it's good, it wouldn't go out to theaters.
True, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It'd be on an episode of Twilight Zone, which means that it would have aired, 30 years ago, and no one would have seen it.
You gotta look for them, but there are good horror movies out there. Whether it's again The Babadook or The Guest. Yeah. Probably two of the best movies I've seen in 2014.
I gotta check out The Guest.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
what's there to even say? I mean, about the story? The story, like, it doesn't matter.
No.
The main character, you find out that she had a child, but had it forcibly removed.
Yeah.
And that's why the woman in black was pissed at her. She was like, "You gave the child away. Now I'm going to make you suffer."
Yeah.
It's like, wait, she didn't give her away. It was taken away.
Right.
So no, she's a victim.
I was having trouble following that because I was zoning out hard during this movie.
Well, because every time they want to be like, okay, the dark night the night stuff, suspense stuff is over. Now it's daylight, right?
That was jarring.
The breathing moments, right? Where you get to breathe. It's daylight, but no, fuck you, bird! It's like, so you can't sit there and like, more or less relax and pay attention because you're like, what the fuck are they just going to come out of nowhere with next?
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting there like, okay, something's going to come out of nowhere. What is it? They're talking about something. I don't know what it is. Something's going to come. What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, there it was.
Oh, yeah.
And then, okay, moving on. What's the next jump scare?
Any time it cut to, I'm glad you mentioned that. Because any time, honestly, I think it maybe only happened twice, but it still was really jarring. Yeah. Whenever it would be pitch black and then suddenly cut to somebody standing outside in daylight.
Right.
It was, fuck!
Right, yeah.
It was like, I don't know, you're sleeping and then someone just shines a flashlight in your face.
Yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely how it felt. But also, it just seemed like the pacing wise, ghosts and stuff are scary at night.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do any ghost stuff during the day, but they could do those stupid fucking jump scares.
Yeah.
Which is what they they relied so heavily on those.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you got a talented screenwriter behind this and a director who can do his own thing with it, you could have made a really scary movie and it could have been in the daylight. I was
thinking about that. It was like, what would be interesting, a challenge to really have just a completely daylight scary ghost story.
Some of the scariest movies, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a lot of it takes place in daylight. Not the last third, really, but a lot of it takes place in the daylight. There's a lot of daylight in The Guest and The Babadook.
Because you can tell a good story. It doesn't have to be relying just on the dark. And
it's a Hammer movie, so I mean, yeah, I get it. It's going to be very gothic looking, and there's going to be a lot of.
That's fine.
That's because it is a pretty looking movie.
But there's so many opportunities for just suspense without having it to revert to just the jump scare. I mean, and like you can use the sound elements like a loud bang and stuff in certain things, but you can use it in better ways than just a ridiculous
every 5 minutes.
Well, then every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes.
You know, I mean, there was the closest thing I thought to kind of cool was when he put the sheet over his head, and then like he could see through the sheet.
Oh,
like through the sheet, and then like slowly,
spooky face was looking at him.
Spooky face came through, like looking at him. Like that was the closest thing to like, hey, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was the one moment they did that.
Yeah, I was thinking back on that was fine, but at the time of watching it,
you're waiting for a boom.
I was waiting for something silly to happen.
Yeah, I was too. Like I was waiting for it. Yeah.
It took really quick for that girl to suffocate herself in that gas mask too. Like 5 seconds, she was down.
And that's one of those moments where, you know, you see her doing that, so it's already got the music spiking up. So there's no like, and then it does the reverse shot, and you see the woman in black completely, not obscured. You see her there with like 5, 6 like dead kids with her. You know, which okay, never met them before, but hi, you know, welcome to this movie. You're in it, you know. So
her posse
of dead kids, which they're elsewhere too. Like remember there's the blind guy in the village.
Oh yeah, that guy. I forgot about that.
There's the blind guy in the village who I suppose he's alive.
I guess
right. And so, but
for all I know, he was in the first one. I just can't remember.
It's supposed to be 40 years later, so you're kind of conjecturing that he's a kid. He was a kid in the first one. And now the town is devastated, and he's the only thing left alive there. But there's the clash with him, and as she runs away and gets in the Jeep, you see him, and then the Jeep passes, and it's him with all those dead kids again. And they're all just standing there with him.
That's right.
You know, like a posse. But it's like, wait, you know, so like, is he part of it now?
No.
What? I mean,
he's their duff.
Oh, that fucking stupid.
Can we take a slight detour real quick and
talk about some terrible trailer? Duff. Designated.
I thought it was going to be about beer. What the fuck?
The designated ugly fat friend.
I've seen the poster for that over at Showplace 12 a lot.
Where it's like a mirror, right? And you're supposed to selfie yourself.
Yeah, you're supposed to selfie yourself, which I'm gonna have to do that sometime. But
we gotta do that.
Especially now I know how fucking stupid that movie looks. Duff. Every group of friends has the Duff, the designated ugly fat friend. But it's a movie, so she's neither ugly nor fat.
Right.
She's honestly quite attractive.
Yeah, she's very cute. Yeah.
Very cute.
But you know, they do what they do in movies to make, you know, gorgeous people ugly. They give her unflattering clothes, give her dark hair, and like don't do her makeup right.
She still looked fine.
Yeah, she still looked really cute. Yeah, I mean, it's not like
I don't get this movie.
Oh God, it's terrible. I can't look at it. No, it's like there's this really cute girl that they're trying really hard to make her look. You know, she's the ugly one.
No, she's so not. I thought we were past this.
Right.
I thought we were past this with I don't know, like after like Not Another Teen Movie made fun of that where they took her glasses off and put her hair down. Oh my God.
Right. No, but it's the exact same. It's the exact same thing. They will, you know, she will, you know, work with the hot guy to help the hot guy get the girl, which is her best friend, and then, you know, right at the last moment, she'll suddenly become hot.
Yeah.
And then
she's been hot this whole entire trailer. I don't get this. I hate this. I hate everything about this, and I hate it so much because it was distracting me through the rest of the trailers because I was pointing out the Duff in every single one of them.
That's right. Yes.
With the Avengers, Hulk is their Duff.
Hulk is the Duff, right?
And Pitch Perfect 2, that was okay. But
Pitch Perfect 2, yeah. It's funny because she's heavy.
That's a Brian movie. I'm not going to be at that. I'm not going to be at that fucking movie.
Oh, God.
I'm fucking glad The Wedding Ringer's coming out soon, because I have gotten that trailer for the past, 6 months.
Yeah, they're advertising the hell out of that.
They started advertising that early. I swear, I saw the trailer for that in front of either About Last Night or Think Like a Man 2.
Jeez.
Both of them a fucking while ago.
Yeah.
I am glad that's coming out, because I'm getting really tired of seeing trailers for that, because I see it in front of every fucking movie.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'll be at that movie. I don't know what comes out that weekend.
What was I saying? The only way I'd watch that movie is if they somehow animated over Josh Gad, Olaf the Snowman. So the whole movie's just actually him as Olaf dancing around. It's that might make the movie watchable for about a minute and a half before I started punching everybody around me.
It's like I told you, if they combined this with the Devil's Advocate, and halfway through he turns out to be Satan. Kevin Hart. I'm all right, I was not expecting this. This is going in an interesting direction.
That would be, yeah. That'd be great.
You got me, movie.
That's right, yeah.
It's January, and I think I've already seen the best movie of the year. I did not think it was going to be a Kevin Hart, Josh Gad movie.
Nope. That's not what we're expecting.
I think that's what other fucking trailers were there. All I could think about was that stupid Duff movie.
Oh, God. Well, there was what I initially thought was going to be Hitch 2, just because it was...
Hitch is 11.
Hitch is 11, yeah. Yeah, it's the Will Smith heist thing.
Something like that.
A high-stake heist thingy.
I'm just glad Will Smith's back to being charismatic again.
He's not doing
After Earth. Or that little bit from Winter's Tale that he was in, where he played Satan.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I can't tell. It could be
interesting. I don't know.
I can't really tell what it's about, but it's Will Smith being cool.
I was having too much fun calling it Hitch 2, so I don't. I wasn't paying attention. I lost it. I lost it after that. God, what else was there?
That stupid. Okay, when we were talking about Woman in Black, it reminded me, and just bad horror movies, because it reminded me of we got that one that's I don't know, it's like Flatliners, kind of, where Olivia Wilde, I think, and Donald Glover.
Yeah, where they can bring her back to life.
Yeah.
They jab her in the head with the serum that they were bringing dogs back to life. So they bring her back to life.
And it's
apparently Satan or something.
I guess she's been to hell.
She's been to hell.
You crossed Reanimator with fucking Flatliners? I don't... And I'm watching this trailer okay.
God, that's funny. That's how little impact it had on me. I completely forgot.
Oh, I remember thinking, because it's got a scene in there where it shows a dude get crushed in a locker, like fucking Prom Night 2, just smushed in this locker, and then blood treeps out, from underneath it, and then title, boom, PG-13.
Yeah.
Fuck off!
Yeah, we got that. Oh, we got The Kingsman.
That looks amazing.
Okay, this is. I at first, when I saw the first trailer, I saw that the teaser one where you have Colin Firth come in, talk to the guy.
Yeah.
There's all the bullies about to beat him up, and he does the totally cool, awesome thing, and just kicks the crap out of him with his umbrella.
Yeah.
I guess for some reason I was thinking that was meant to be either a young adult teen novel or a kid's
it's based on a comic, and
Well, you told me more about it, and now I'm you said it's looking like it's going to be a hard one.
No, it is.
and we got a much better trailer. Oh my God, I'm excited about that movie.
That trailer is amazing. Amazing. Once you think oh man, there's not enough cool in this trailer, then all of a sudden Hush starts playing. Yeah. Buses are ramming into people.
Yeah.
All fucking hell is breaking loose. Yeah. See, when we went to go see, when Dave and I saw The Gambler, it showed the Red Band trailer in front of it, which is basically that trailer, but with a lot of gore and a lot of cursing. And it popped up Red Band. I'm like, oh, we're getting a Red Band trailer, and it started showing that. I was kind of with like you on that, in that I know that it's based on a comic, I don't. Dave would know more about that than me.
Yes,
so I was like, whoa, this is an R? Oh my god, this is so an R. It's like, wow, this is what that 90s Avengers movie should have been. Ray Fiennes one. Holy shit. I am really looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than the other one was, we half mentioned it, but it was the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer. I was thinking it was the first
one. The same trailer that's been out. James Spader being creepy, so I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Oh, man. Okay, so you got any final thoughts about Woman in Black 2, Angel of Death?
Not nearly enough Joseph Mengele. That's like, I gotta agree with you there. If it would have actually been Uncle JoJo's house that they went to, you know.
Or if that guy in the bar that one time who told me I looked like Joseph Mengele. I kind of don't look unlike him, unfortunately.
I've seen the picture you're talking about. There's maybe a tiny bit of resemblance, but not a whole lot. And also, that's kind of like, it's like going to somebody and saying, "You look like Hitler." Excuse me, sir, I don't know you. But I was just looking at you kind of look like...
if I met that kid in person, I wouldn't tell him he looked like Hitler. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how drunk I am. But hey, kid, you look like Hitler.
But Joseph Mengele is kind of in that same category. But
Mengele was known as the handsome one. He was, like, in the documentaries, like, the survivors are like, he was very mean, he was nasty, but he was very handsome. So I guess the moral of that is...
I gotta be honest with you, Brad. I don't think there's actually a documentary where the survivors of his...
No, I'm not making that up. I'm so not making that up. I'm really not. I'm not. And like, it sucks that I can't remember the name of it. But
I have to see this now because I have such a hard time.
No. Like, I'm dead serious. Okay. It might have been in the Auschwitz documentary. I don't know. One of the documentaries where they were talking about Mengele, and and
then they talk about how he's handsome.
Yes. I'm so not making it. If any of you out there have seen this documentary, because I so have.
Post it because I need to see this now.
Very handsome. Very handsome.
So I guess it is a compliment.
It was a compliment.
One of the most... You look like one of the most notorious and cruel murderers in history.
I got the better look at it. It's like when someone's... I didn't get Charles Manson.
You didn't get Charles Manson.
Nah, I didn't get Gacy. Although when I was fat, I probably could have gotten Gacy. Or that's like, if someone's gonna come up to you and say that you look like a serial killer, you want to have your fingers crossed, and in your head you be like, oh god, I hope they say Ted Bundy. And if it's the Nazis, I guess Mengele.
I guess if you gotta be somebody, you gotta be Mengele.
Yeah, I'd have been really mad if he said you look like Eichmann. How dare you? You have insulted me, good sir.
Had you been wearing a cape or something, you know.
Oh, then I'd look like Helmut Berger at the end of Salon Kitty. With my skin-tight leather Nazi outfit with a
cape. which I wear clubbing sometimes. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, yeah. Well, let's see. Next week is, no, wait, not even next week. It's, in like 2 days. I forgot. We didn't go see this at the pre-screening because it was New Year's. Okay, so today's Tuesday?
Tuesday, yes.
All right. And it always throws me off when there's one of these in the middle of the week. I have to think about what fucking day it is. In a couple of days, it's, let's see, Selma and, you and I are fucking Taken 3.
Yes!
I didn't even like Taken 2, but I'm gonna go see Liam Neeson kill some more people.
Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. When will people stop messing with Liam Neeson?
That's what I keep saying.
Just leave him alone. Mm-hmm. He's gonna kick your ass if you mess with him. Don't mess with him. Don't mess with his family. Don't screw with his memories.
Oh yeah.
Don't screw it. Just leave him alone.
It took him five Death Wish movies before they stopped fucking with Charles Bronson.
See?
That was only because he died.
Somebody finally got to him.
See it.
Bye.